All right, guys, welcome to another episode of the Limitless Mindset Podcast. I'm excited to have you guys here today, and thanks so much for joining me. I wanted to take a quick minute before we get started, by the way, and say I appreciate all the comments, likes, shares, all the DMs I get that, you guys sharing some of the ways that this podcast has helped you guys in your guys' business, helped you guys with your guys' mindset. That's the reason I do this. I do this for free. I don't make any money on this. I just do this as a way to give back to you guys and kind of share what's going on in my world and share some of the things that I've learned along the way, some of the lessons I continue to learn, and in hopes that it's going to help better your guys' lives and add a little bit of value to you guys. So thank you again. I appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed, all the DMs you guys give, the messages, stuff like that. I really appreciate it. It's awesome to hear the feedback, and I love to hear you guys out there absolutely dominating and you guys out there winning. So with that being said, I would also love if you guys get value from these shows, feel free to share it. That's my whole point is I want to get this message out to as many people as possible. I'd love to improve as many people's lives as possible this year, finishing up with 2023. It's a personal goal of mine. So if you guys have people that you know would hear this, that would benefit from it, feel free to share it, tag me in it, and I'll give you guys a reshare as well too. So just wanted to start out and say thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate it. It's not going unnoticed, guys. It's awesome. So I wanted to start this podcast out today with something that I want to really add some value to you guys, that I think this is one of the most underrated things out there that not a lot of people see value in. You know, it's one of those things that get overlooked as a bad thing, but there really is some great things that can come out of this. I was having a conversation this week with one of my agents, and they were telling me basically that they were frustrated. They're like, times get hard. This business, while it's extremely fulfilling and rewarding, man, it just seems like there's a lot of downtimes in it as well too. And I could just see the frustration. I could see the anguish in them, and hear it in their voices. They were talking to me because they, are just kind of fed up with things being challenging sometimes. And I try to explain to them, I'm like, listen, there's some good lessons to be found in some of the hard times that you guys are going to face when you guys are in business, if you choose to see it that way. One of the biggest things is the desire to stay hungry that I think a lot of people lose when they start to get a little bit of momentum and traction. It's those same things that help them be successful in their business. So, today, one of the things I wanted to title this podcast is the desperation is the key to domination. That's one of the things that's always going to keep you hungry, is a little bit of desperation in you, no matter how well you guys are doing. So the best version of you, in my opinion, is going to be the desperate version of you. Some of you guys probably remember, you guys have been in situations in your lives. You may even be in this situation in your life right now where things just aren't going your way. Maybe you're not making the money you need to pay, or make. The bills are piling up. You got bills you guys need to pay. You guys got kids you guys got to support. You guys got a wife. You guys got a husband. You guys got obligations. I get it. I've been there. I'm still there myself in some ways, guys. And you probably remember, if you've already made it past that point, maybe you guys are doing well. If you take yourself back to that point in your guys' life, I remember it like it was friggin' yesterday. I can recap, starting into business and point where my bank account was low. Sometimes it went negative a few times. And that is the version of me that was the absolute most hungry out there. That was the fight or flight version of me that just basically said, I have to figure this out. I have to work as hard as friggin' possible, no matter what it takes, sun up to sundown. I'm going to give everything, my absolute all, to do whatever I can to make some damn money right now and be successful and pay my bills and support my family and support my kids. And I tell people this not to, say it's a great thing to feel desperation all the time, but there's a silver lining in this, guys, that the desperate version of you is that best version of you. The desperate version of you that was so hungry to succeed, so hungry to win, so hungry and eager to learn as much as possible and just figure out a way to scratch the surface of success, is the version of you guys that you need to always hold on a little part of that. Like I said, some of you guys may be experiencing this right now, and I just want to give you guys some confidence that the lessons you guys are learning, the hunger, the desire you guys have, don't ever forget that feeling that you guys have right now, because if you can learn to carry this on with you into business, it's going to be a huge asset for you guys. Here's the thing. People get a little bit of success underneath their wings. They start to see successful, their business gains a little bit of traction. They get a little bit of confidence coming into them. They start making a little bit of money. They add a few employees to their business. And a lot of people mess up because what happens is they hit what's called cruise control. They feel like they made it. They finally climbed out of that hole of desperation that we're talking about. And they get comfortable and they get complacent and they lose that creativity. They lose that hunger. They lose that desire to absolutely dominate and win and have a zero option mentality. And that's That's one thing I've always tried to carry with me. It doesn't matter how much money I make. It doesn't matter how big my company gets. It doesn't matter how well I'm doing. It doesn't matter how many accolades I get. I still, in my mind, pretend like I have none of it. I have no money. I'm still hungry. I wake up every single day unemployed, and I have to find a way to make it. I have to stay away to keep hungry. I just got a DM today from somebody asking me the same question. Hey, I'm starting into something new. I want to scale up my social media. I want to scale up my business, my podcast. And it feels like I'm starting back from ground zero. And, it's hard to stay motivated because what I have going on over here is already working. And, I know I need to do this, but it's not going too well. Guys, bring it back to that hungry and desperation phase, right? If you took everything away from you and you said, my number one goal is to scale out my social media, I know it'll work if I dedicate enough time and energy. I have to find a way to make this work for me. You will be successful if you guys can maintain that hunger feeling inside. It's going to help you guys continue to dominate. Even when you guys continue to do well, you never want to change up the actions that you guys put, the energy, the effort, the thought process. You guys don't want to put that to the wayside once you guys see a little bit of success, because once you do that, you guys are doomed. It's what's going to back you off. It's at that point you're getting comfortable and you're letting your foot off the gas. You're not going to keep doing the things that got you to where you want to be. And that's the thing. Some of us don't even realize we're doing it. We don't even realize that we're giving up these things that were actually great traits that we used to have out of desperation. So desperation, guys, again, that's what brings your peak performance. When you guys have a fight or flight mentality, you guys are going to go all out. You guys are going to go to war with yourself every single day. You guys are going to go to war with the marketplace that you guys are in, because you have to find a way to get your name in there, in that business, right? You guys still probably remember, maybe you guys were out knocking doors trying to get customers. Maybe you guys were making tons of cold calls trying to get customers. You guys were online marketing like crazy trying to get customers. You guys were, on YouTube and all these other websites just trying to find new ways to get information and find new ways to do things. You guys were doing whatever it took to succeed and win. And imagine if you carried that same mindset of dominance and that fight or flight mentality or that zero option mentality with you today. What would your guys' performance be? It's going to be the same. You guys are going to continue to grow and scale like crazy. Obviously, you add more people into your guys' business and your organization, and you start handoff and delegating some tasks. But if every day you wake up and you pretend that you're broke, and every day you wake up and pretend that you haven't made it, and every day you wake up like it's day one and you were just trying to figure out how the hell to make it, you guys will continue to dominate. There's good things to be had in desperation and in desperate times, the lessons you guys learn. One thing you guys can do right now is just start measuring your guys' energy, start measuring your guys' resourcefulness, and start measuring your guys' outputs towards desperation, right? If you guys wake up every day and your energy is kind of low, and it's because you guys have been complacent, right? Your outputs have been kind of subpar because you're complacent. You started doing well in your guys' business, your resourcefulness and the creativity and, you finding new ways to do things. All of that's gone to the wayside, and it has been complacent because you guys are settled in where you're at and you feel like you don't have to work as hard. Take note of that. Take inventory of that. Take 5 or 10 minutes a day and rehash those feelings of what it felt like to be in a desperate situation in your guys' business or a desperate situation in your guys' life, and stack up how well you performed and how motivated you were in that environment compared to where you are right now. And it might just be a great reality check for yourself and a great reminder to bring yourself back to those desperate times. Are you guys as hungry as you should be right now? Are you guys in a place in your business where you're trying to still continue to grow it? You still continue to try to scale it. You guys have employees that work with you guys or colleagues that you're trying to help grow their businesses and scale. The number one question is, are you still hungry? Are you as hungry today as you were on day one to succeed and dominate? And that could be a great reality check for you to kind of bring yourself back down and say, man, I need to really refocus and re-energize myself in my direction on being as hungry and desperate as I used to be. Learn to be happy in the desperation, guys. That's the best thing I can tell you. Too many people work hard to get out of a desperation mode, not realizing, again, like we talked about, that desperation is one of the keys to success that they saw right now. You guys need to learn to be in desperation mode when you're there and learn to be happy with it. There's success that can be found in that, guys. Again, you've already found success. Some of you guys have already found. Some of you guys right now are in this place we're talking about where you're starting out at day one. You guys are just getting started into a new business. Maybe you guys are in a position where your world's got turned upside down. You guys lost a family member that was, part of your guys' income, or a loved one, or maybe you guys are unfortunately going through a divorce. Maybe you guys lost your business in the last, couple years due to COVID. Maybe you guys lost your job, right? All of these things are going to put you in a position of desperation, which at times can feel like you guys' world's friggin' ending and it's frustrating. But I guarantee you where you're at right now, you're also probably very resourceful. You guys are probably also waking up every day extremely motivated to find a way to get yourself out of that position, or find a new way to make money, or find a new way to survive, or, whatever the case may be for your guys' personal situation. Guys, slow down right now. Take a bird's eye view of where you're at right now. Take inventory of how hard you're working to get yourself out of that position. And remember this right now, and make sure you guys aren't losing sight of where you're at, because that creativity you probably have right now, that creativity that you guys had to get yourself out of that situation, that work ethic, that drive, that hunger, that day one no mentality, you guys had no other choices but to succeed or pull yourself out of that place. If you guys can remember what that feels like right now, or if you guys can remember what that felt like if you guys already got yourself out of that situation, guys, that right there, that emotion, if you guys can learn to be happy in that, and don't get me wrong, I know it's challenging, I know it's turbulent, nobody is going to be comfortable per se in a desperate situation, but if you can get comfortable with the thought of there's a lot of growth to be had in here, and these emotions that I'm feeling right now, I can use these as tools and I can use these as leverage for the rest of my life now. Whenever I get to a place of complacency or comfort, or my business plateaus, you can bring yourself back to this position and this point in time to where you guys are feeling these emotions, and you can say, am I utilizing the same energy and outputs that I was then in a desperate situation, in a comfortable situation that I'm in right now? Comfort and complacency kills, in my opinion, guys. I never am an advocate of being comfortable. I'm never an advocate of being complacent. We as humans were never meant to be comfortable and complacent. A lot of people think they're working towards comfort, think they're working towards complacency, but really the true happiness comes inside when you guys are continuing to grow. It's human nature to want to grow. It's human nature to want to evolve. It's human nature to want to get better. It's human nature to want to face a challenge. If you guys go back to the beginning of times, human nature has always been, we used to wake up and come out of a cave and have to go hunt for food. We used to wake up every day not knowing if we were going to be able to survive or have food, or what enemies we were going to face, or who was going to try to attack us, or what was going to try to kill us, or were we going to all of a sudden face a weather change and a blizzard. We woke up in a constant state of desperation for hundreds of thousands of years before where we are right now, guys. It's wired in us. It's how we survived. It's how we evolved. We didn't wake up 200-300 years ago and get in our car and go around the corner and grab a Starbucks, guys. Our life was never meant to be in a place of complacency. I guarantee you, if you guys look back on some of your greatest challenges right now and you guys think about it, and you look back in time and you focus on the things that were times that you guys thought were probably going to break you, to be honest with you, times that you guys felt the most challenged, and you guys were able to overcome that. Maybe it was a situation where you were like severely overweight and you just made the decision to go to the gym, eat clean, get into better shape, feel good. And you sit back and you look at those photos of yourself, compare yourself today. I guarantee you that's probably one of your most proudest moments. But when you first went down that journey, it probably felt like something that was going to change your life. When you guys lost a loved one, maybe when you guys went through a divorce and you had to start over from ground zero, when you guys had a business you guys were running and you had to start over from ground zero, and you turned it around, and here you guys are today, and you look back at that, at something that you thought was going to ruin you, but today it's actually one of the things that you're most proud of overcoming. Again, guys, that's that feeling of you weren't complacent at that point. That's the feeling of overcoming. That's the feeling of growth. That's the feeling of surviving, the things that make you feel good. So again, guys, learn to love the desperate times. Learn to love the feelings that you guys have right now. I'm not saying get comfortable with them, but learn to love them right now, because these tools and these feelings that you guys have right now, these are the things that are going to carry you guys onto the next level and are going to help you guys win. Always keep a portion of this in your guys' tool belt, guys. Like I said today, I still wake up every day at the same time, 3 a.m. I could sleep in. I got people that, run businesses for me and stuff. I could do all of that stuff, guys. I don't want to. I still act like it's day one, like I'm unemployed every single morning. Like I have, to go out and fight for my business. Like I got to fight to grow. I'm still growing companies, guys. It's that constant evolution. It's not a dollar amount. It's not a house you guys live in. It's not a comfortable relationship. None of those things, guys, are going to really fulfill you. What's going to fulfill you is the ability to continue progressing and growing through life. It's these milestones. 10 years from now, you should be able to look back at your guys' life and say, look how damn far I've come. I'm not in the same position. Look at what I was, where I was back then, and look at who I am today and how much further down the road I am. And that is going to be the feeling of happiness for you guys. As always, hopefully you guys have an absolute amazing week. I'm looking forward to getting out there and dominating it. We are almost done with month number 1 of 2023. Hopefully you guys are making the most of it. As always, I hope you guys get out there. Let's crush it.